It's fairly obvious to say at this point that Hollywood is a massive part of the film industry. It's inescapable, their glowing intellect and shining 4K filming quality, blessing us mere mortals with our everyday entertainment. I made that a bit deeper than I should have. Oh well. There are many different production contexts that take up the industry, each with their own unique styles and levels of production quality. Whether it's the financial opportunities or the technologies at their disposal, it can change how much time is dedicated to the film's production and how much the company can spend on its distribution. The marketing, one of the more complex parts of how a film or media product is revealed to the public, can be the life or death of a product. Many different production contexts, whether that being Hollywood, indie, co-productions, Bollywood, all have differing levels of marketing strategies and either bigger or smaller access to funds. Hollywood will be the prime focus of this video today, alongside the 22nd installment of the Marvel Cinematic franchise, Avengers: Infinity War.
I mean, it's costing you bare peas.
So, let's start with the thing that makes the world go round.
Money.
Hollywood by default has wide access to funds to support the production of new films. Funds are made by merchandising of films. The Avengers franchise itself already had 21 films already made, each making Hollywood upon millions and millions of dollars. A larger amount of funding means that a larger professional film crew can be hired for the pre-production, filming, and post-production work. Infinity War had a wide variety of characters from many of the Marvel films, like Captain America, Thor, Black Panther, Guardians of the Galaxy.
Dear God.
A bigger budget means a bigger number of actors can be paid. Fun fact, Infinity War's filming began on January 23rd and ended in July of 2017. 7 months of filming for perfection made possible by a large financial accessibility. Marketing in the film takes up the very core of its distribution and can determine how many people come and see it on the day of its release. Now when I'm talking about marketing, I'm mainly talking about trailers, posters, or again, merchandising. Like Ninja with his Fortnite gear.
Do not bully people. You shut up when I'm talking to you! You shut your mouth!
Leaks from the development of the film revealed that Marvel had set a $150 million promo budget with famous partners like Coca-Cola, Quicken Loans, and Infinity. Is that ironic? Another leak revealed that the budget for Infinity War itself was a rocking $321.2 million.
That's a lot of money.
You're never exactly going to get that kind of funding anywhere else, I promise you that.
Technology.
A new digital IMAX camera was used during the film's production. The budget allowed access to better equipment, meaning better 4K film quality for the audience. This is better since they can experience all the special effects, incredible action, and perfect sound design all at their full potential. The marketing campaign for Infinity War started from 2014 to 2018. It's meant to build both audiences' expectations and hype to a high degree. The quality of the film must deliver and shouldn't disappoint, especially for a company like Marvel. Now, a special effects firm called Digital Domain was hired to track the facial expressions of Thanos' actor, Josh Brolin, and apply them in special effects for Thanos' purple, muscly character. The perfect tracking is so that every facial expression made is recorded and can be transferred to Thanos' actual look in the film. This is especially important since many of the more emotional scenes that involve Thanos, showing either sadness, grimace, contemplation, surprise, or even anger, and they need to be present so that we as the audience can see more clearly how Thanos is feeling during the scene. 13 total VFX firms, including Perception, CineSight, and Digital Domain, all helped contribute towards the creation of Infinity War special effects. Many of the Marvel films all are heavily reliant on VFX when it comes to action scenes and character designs.
Enough! You are all of you beneath me. I am a god, you dull creature, and I will not be bullied by...
With the combined 30 primary characters present in the film, each having applied special effects to their powers or designs such as Iron Man's suits, Thor's lightning, Thanos' minions, etc., and locations including Wakanda, space, Titan, and Thanos' ship. The very idea and art of film itself is supposed to be a form of escapism and release from the outside world. The excessive use of visual effects and out-of-this-world designs complement this factor in perfect form. Infinity War has numerous examples of this, and even the name Infinity, connoting how the film doesn't limit itself to our own interpretation of reality, and taking massive leaps to show what is out in the universe beyond our reach. I made that deeper than I had to be, jeez. Dandeli led as an overall VFX supervisor for the movie, Anyone who follows his work on other VFX films, even previous Marvel films including Captain America, Iron Man 3, and even more older films like The Rock or Armageddon. These examples listed have incredible special effects. People who have enjoyed these films can have high expectations for Infinity War's use of special effects, further giving it a wider audience to reach out to.
This is top 10 trends.
Strong female characters are a common trend in the film industry in today's cinema more than anything. To name a few, Gamora, Black Widow, Nebula, and Okoye all play a relevant part in the film and aren't just background characters. This gives the film a more unique stance on female leads in Infinity War. Another one is having an engaging and well-written villain, Thanos, where we follow his quest for most of the film and always sways the audience's interest from the hero's story to the villain's story. If anything, this may be seem a little crazy, but I like to think that Infinity War is Thanos' film, not the Avengers. Another one is how some film franchises do eventually hit a potential ending for the film series. Transformers Dark of the Moon, Pirates of the Caribbean at World's End, and Terminator Salvation are examples of films that were believed to have come to an end, but they resulted in further installments in the same franchise.
Well, that was dreadful.
Infinity War follows this ending, I'm gonna call it the ending trend, but does it in a more efficient and more passionate manner. Infinity War itself falls under a variety of genres, including action, superhero, sci-fi, fantasy, and adventure, with a hint of comedy. The film as a whole is an obvious superhero movie. Branches out to other genres that make him appeal to not just one but multiple audiences, henceforth selling the film more and more with the promise of an including factor that they will enjoy. These genres are a more common part of the Hollywood mainstream. Other films during the time including Black Panther,
Mission Impossible Fallout,
Ready Player One, Venom, and Jurassic World, all part of the trend. Incorporating these trends and were ish successful. The characters in Infinity War take up a certain part of the genre the film has. The Guardians of the Galaxy and Spider-Man take up a portion of comedy, where they execute the majority of the film's jokes and humour, while the original Avengers, like Thor, Iron Man, Captain America, etc., show off the film's action and fantasy section.
Mightiest heroes. Not today, sir.
Are you making your voice deeper?
No.
I'm Peter, by the way.
Doctor Strange.
Oh, I'm using your made-up names. Then I am Spider-Man.
He said it! He said it!
The film takes off after the events of Thor Ragnarok and the previous films, meaning it is already in a flowing cycle of both the Avengers storyline and moving forward from Ragnarok. The events of the spin-off film shape the events of Infinity War and continue them in film. This means that the Marvel fanbase has already been looking forward to a direct sequel, and this is what the hype train has been building for. This means that the Marvel fanbase and anyone with an interest in the Avengers storyline are already on the hype train for Infinity War. Stars are coming out tonight. Since this is the 22nd installment of the Avengers franchise, the cast has already been set and all crossed over into one big installment. Famous faces like Robert Downey Jr., Scarlett Johansson, Tom Holland, Chris Pratt, and Benedict Cumberbatch, as well as Stan Lee for his brief cameo that he appears in every Marvel movie. Josh Brolin plays Thanos' voice and character on set, but it's altered during the editing stages to fit the purple giant villain on the screen.
Everything is sexist, everything is racist, everything is homophobic, and you have to point it all out.
Hollywood has had issues with social representation in the past and has had moments that exploit the male gaze. The Marvel films are more of a mirrored version of the male gaze, with most of the male cast having ripped, masculine physique that are overtly shown to the audience, such as like Thor, Captain America, Black Panther, with the
Hey, yo, that's gay, man.
This is a method of displaying the main character's strengths and a boast of their intimidation. Infinity War acknowledges this and doesn't focus on exploiting either the male or female gaze and focuses on the story progression and each character's role within the film. Thanos' reasons behind his quest to destroy half the universe's population are expanded upon and give the audience reason to understand and maybe even support his genocide.
We were happy on my home planet.
Going to bed hungry, scrounging for scraps. Your planet was on the brink of collapse. I'm the one who stopped that. You know what's happened since then? The children born have known nothing but full bellies and clear skies. It's a paradise.
Because you murdered half the planet.
A small price to pay for salvation.
You're insane.
Little one, it's a simple calculus. This universe is finite, its resources finite. If life is left unchecked, life will cease to exist.
Hollywood doesn't have to be open with these social views distributed by the characters. That is up to the viewer's choice. The film doesn't shove the message down the audience's throat or display it as the views of Hollywood or any of the peoples involved in the film's creation. They establish the villain's goal and reason and just move on. Infinity War's representation of both women and diverse casting contribute to their characters and isn't just an act of mindless pandering, as well as doesn't get in the way of the story's progression, unlike some people. Each character's powers and abilities, male or female, are relevant and crucial to the story, and meet the fans' expectations. Iron Man can fly and shoot lasers, Doctor Strange and Scarlet Witch both wield magical powers, Thor is a thunder god and can wield lightning for the love of God. Before a film is initially made, the studio must carry out research into audience reactions and the film genres so that they know what to include and what they shouldn't include. This can reflect off of numerous factors, including gender and age profiling, psychographics, demographics, and target audiences. One example of audience research is test screenings, where a draft of the film is shown for a selected audience for both criticisms and reactions. Paranormal Activity did this and even used it to its advantage during the advertising campaign. Marvel's research behind their most ambitious film ever since Avengers comes from the recent film's success and mostly positive response. The original Avengers, Iron Man, Thor, Captain America, you get it, are beloved key figureheads of the Marvel Cinematic Universe as well as the comics, and no doubt their films are all box office successes. The other adaptations of the Marvel Cinematic Universe with films like Black Panther, Guardians of the Galaxy, and Spider-Man are also well received by audiences and critics alike. So with this positive public view, Marvel knows that with their professional crew at their disposal, they can make something truly beautiful. Many of the typical stereotypes for an action, adventure, superhero movie being explosions, frantic shots, and amazing CGI. These qualities are present in Infinity War and they do appeal to the Marvel target audience. Infinity War's ability to tell the story efficiently and let the audience know briefly the events that have occurred before the film is just cool. To be honest, I didn't even see any of the other Marvel films before Infinity War, and I already knew he was the bad guy, he's the good guy. This dude does spider stuff, he has a gem in his head. The Hulk isn't in this film, what the hell? It may even be a standalone film. You don't have to like Marvel to like this film.
I'm ready!
Where is it? Hang on. There it is. Okay. The trailer applied many of the aspects of an action-adventure film would require. A trailer is designed to capture the audience's interest, make them crave more and, possibly, witness the conclusion of the Avengers storyline.
There was an idea to bring together a group of remarkable people.
To see if we could become something more.
So when they needed us, we could fight the battles
That they never could.
The sad piano score and the battle-hardened heroes shown already setting the tone that they are nearing the end of their journey. The viewer and the audience are supposed to be given a false belief that this film will tell the end of everyone's story, and in doing so making the viewer feel like Marvel is gifting them with a final conclusion. The trailer then transitions to a slowly rising trombone score as the bright and colourful Marvel logo plays and shows the different heroes in their prime and ready for battle poses. Designed to gain the attention of the more loyal fans, at the same time remind the audience that the hyped and comic-like characters they know and love are now dark and more serious based.
In time, you will know what it's like to lose. To feel so desperately that you're right, yet to fail all the same. Dread it. Run from it. Destiny still arrives.
Thanos, my boy Thanos, is then introduced in a voiceover as he tells the viewer how he knows how it feels like to be right, yet to fail all the same. This one piece of dialogue alone gives Thanos' character a more creative edge, not really found in most superhero movie villains, and makes them less one-sided. He views himself as the universe's salvation, as well as its Prometheus. As such, he tries to reach out to the audience and try to make them sympathize with him. On a stereotypical standpoint, everyone does occur a situation as Thanos describes, and a smart symbolic metaphor used by the trailer, focusing on Tom Holland's teenager role, smartly links itself to the phrase, since it's another stereotype that most teenagers believe that they are always correct.
Why you boring me? I'm right.
Both a smart and comical use of Thanos' words, henceforth furthering the audience's interest in Thanos' character and ideology. Thanos then tells the audience,
Dread it. Run from it. Destiny still arrives.
this to the viewer may make them feel like they are fighting a losing battle. He shows absolutely no change in tone or emotion, like he is absolutely certain that the events he believes in will occur with or without him, further trapping the audience and possibly making them feel like they themselves must help the Avengers fight. We can't even see Thanos. He's literally like a god figure, just staring down on us and telling us his views. The use of visuals in the scenes complement to visual storytelling and directing done correctly. Dread It shows Iron Man looking uneasily at the threat before him. He too dreads to know what will happen if Thanos succeeds. Run from it, showing a string of dead bodies laid across a battlefield, symbolizing that no matter how far you may run, death will always catch up and claim you. You cannot run from it, and Thanos knows it. He's mocking the audience. He's mocking the audience for their false sense of confidence in that the heroes will save them. Destiny still arrives, then finally revealing the main antagonist, Thanos, arriving to the scene. His very presence alone showing how he is Destiny incarnate, how he will decide not only the audience but the universe's fate. His lack of intimidating armor, evil facial features, and just arriving with himself and his expressionless face, further proving how he is simply intimidating by his very nature alone, an iron-strong will to wipe out half the universe's population. This style of marketing where we finally see the bad guy in action can be seen as pandering to some, but does appeal to the wider Marvel audience nonetheless.
Evacuate the city. Engage all defenses. And get this man a shield.
The last segment of the trailer showcases Marvel's heroes in their entirety, and reveals what the main aspect of Infinity War revolves around: action and drama. This combination of all the important Marvel characters in displaying each of their strengths and abilities is a very good marketing scheme, since it allows the film to reach out to audiences of different films, entice them to see their favourite heroes in action, possibly for the last time, as well as gives the viewer a number of promises of who and what they will expect to see if they pay to see Infinity War. The drums slowly become louder and more repetitive as the shots cut from one another, the build up to the trailer's rising action being the audience's core focus and lead to the climax.
Fun isn't something one considers when balancing the universe. But this does put a smile on my face.
Thanos wielding great power and commands incomprehensible forces by the millions. Only by uniting all of Earth's heroes and even the audience themselves will they stand a chance. This is a subtle method of attempting to make the audience feel more involved in the film. The use of sound matching the beats of the drums is a well-placed tension build-up, and a very impressive style of making the audience feel some sort of excitement from the action and bloodshed, then cutting to showing the battle between Thanos' minions versus Captain America and Black Panther, and Thanos himself fighting against Iron Man and Spider-Man, whilst explaining how the events
does put a smile on my face.
The emotionless character we are shown, a character who only has one prime directive like a robot, only getting some sort of satisfaction from destroying the Avengers and their legacy. Now hear me out, this feeling may be felt by the audience as well. Swift transitions that mix in with blows after blows, tied into the drums and rising melody, designed to draw the viewer in, likely wanting more and more, almost like an addiction, to then cease all at once before the two armies can clash, and possibly making the audience feel robbed of their satisfaction. The violence and craving for more only then be taken is constructed to appeal to the trailer's target audience. From a technical point of view, the amusement of violence is devised by the trailer to make the audience feel guilty of their newfound pleasure. However, the cliffhanger that the trailer leaves the audience on is the reason given to the viewer to see Infinity War. Not only to see who wins the war between good and evil, to once again get the rush and pleasure of violence and warfare in its entirety. That's quite a good level of marketing. you've seen any of the Guardians of the Galaxy films, you already know the characters Star-Lord, Gamora, Groot, Rabbit, etc. Their character traits and how they tie into the Marvel Cinematic Universe is an example of an amusing, omniscient point of view. It also gives the fan an idea that the film will include humour as one of its attributes, since the Guardians of the Galaxy films have been known to implement a lot of good and creative gags.
Drax, why aren't you wearing one of Rocket's arrow rigs?
It hurts.
Hurts.
I have sensitive nipples.
My nipples hurt. Oh, goodness me.
What about him?
Meanwhile, Thor is clueless and is only looking at the strangest mix-up of crew characters he has ever seen. That in itself is humorous and ends the trailer leaving a smile on the audience's face.